Yo, welcome to another episode of the Cheatcoders podcast. My name is Raf, and here with me today in Street Uni Mount Druitt is my usual suspects of Don Doing Stuff.
What's doing?
And all the way from London town, listening to Oasis and all that stuff that they do in England, is Nathan Blazin. What's up?
What up, y'all? I'm back, y'all. Oh, wait, I never left, so I'm here. Yeah, what's up?
Back like I never left.
So today is a special day, not because we are at Street Uni for the first time.
I mean, because we're at Street Uni.
Let's say that. All right, cool. Because we are in Street Uni for the first time, Mount Druitt. Shout out to them. Thank you for them. We do also have special guests, repeat guests. We also got a hat-trick guest right now. So we got Esky, who's been 3 times.
Yo!
And then we also have Ricky from Opnsrc, and Esky's a part of Opnsrc as well. So we got the Opnsrc boys representing the west of Sydney. What's up?
What up? It's your main boy Ricky Tana here,
nice.
aka Richie Quintana, which is my birth name, aka Swami Dian Advait. And
Any
I'm
other
a man
names?
and RQ is what everyone else used to call me back in the day.
Oh, sweet.
Still calling me that now. It's my graffiti name.
RQ,
so
man.
for anyone that knows me back in the day.
You got some AKAs, Esky?
Yep.
Good. Awesome. Cool.
It's going to be a
I
nice
guess we'll move on
conversation.
now.
It's going to be a great conversation
Go on,
today.
tell them that special name.
Yeah.
Oh, the special name.
Oh, there's a special name. Okay.
No, I don't have an AKA. I mean, like my real name's Ian Esky, AKA Esky, but that's it.
Okay. So
That's dope.
so we got AKA Don, AKA Don, and then Raf, AKA
Don Don.
Raf Chapo, and then we got Nats Blazin, AKA Pablo Natscabar, because we are the Cheatcoders cartel. We are gonna push that. I'm gonna push that as much as
My
I
nephew
can.
calls me Tito Yan. So that's
Tito
that's
Yan
what-
Yan. There we go. So we
Speaking
got
of
Tito
Yan
Yan
Yan.
Yan.
What's up, Tito Yan
Yan
Yan?
Yan? Oh, Yan Yan.
Yan.
I thought Yum Yum.
But
Like these things.
Like the Yan Yans. Yeah.
Like these things right here. I mean, for the people that are only listening, it's like a snack that you dip it in chocolate and you.
yeah, shout out to Ricky. He just became one of those people who are just like is really nice. You know those people that are nice.
Snacks.
He got us snacks.
Trust
He's
me,
got us
I'm
Yan Yan.
really
He got us
You're a nice guy.
Happy Panda.
I'm a
it's
cunt
amazing.
at heart, bro. So
Thanks, man. But like, can you explain to us what is open source to the audience that don't know?
all right, so basically, open source is becoming a platform for creatives, if anything. I mean, the intention for this year is purely to be. I'll be honest with you, I don't fucking know, man. Like it's
Nice.
it's turning into its own fucking baby, if anything, man. And it's like, I guess it's up to us as like the greater good to sort of pave the way and to sort of like raise it into the direction that we'd actually like to raise it in. But
It's not. You don't necessarily know what it is, but what's the intention behind open source?
right now, as of now, my intention is to become like the platform for platforms.
Okay.
So
It's like 88
purely
Rising.
yeah, quite similar in some way, shape, or form. But it's like, bro, like literally, it's like it's all about unity and awareness. So I'm trying to like unify Western Sydney as a whole, but not only unify Western Sydney as a whole, but just like get awareness to every fucking creative out there that's actually doing shit. So that's essentially my intention, because that's, bro, like in all honesty, like Western Sydney, that like the talent pool here is so fucking large and so fucking vast. Like the fact that we have talent that is on an international level that isn't getting the type of credit that they deserve, that to me fucking that astounds me. Like that blows my mind. Like how does someone who has so much talent, so much, like they put in so much hard work, they have so much drive, how do they not get recognized? But the way I see the whole Western Sydney sort of scene like coming up right now, like everyone's doing their part now, man. Like it's quite cool to notice.
You feel like it's starting to come up.
100%, man. 100%. This is the time now. Yeah. Like we are now in the midst of the next wave, and like I don't know if you like because everything is like cyclicity. Like it's only a matter of time until, so this is now the beginning, then there's going to be a peak, and then it's going to start to dwindle. And then when it starts to dwindle, then another area or another scene will start to flourish. But yeah, for the time being, man, we're just trying to
ride that wave.
Yeah, try ride the wave, and I encourage everyone to fucking ride the wave at the very start, man. Just to be fearless and just fucking just step up, man. Like that's genuinely all it is.
Like
yeah,
that.
man.
Yeah,
and that's
like
respectable that you are passionate about this particular thing, building a community, and making sure that people are getting noticed and the talent. Oh, it sounds like you're clapping for me now. Ricky. But
don't clap for me. Clap for yourselves, if anything.
Yeah, man. We want to get in the crux of like what is open source and what you've been doing lately and what's going to be happening for open source in the future.
Yeah.
But for now, let's do like one news article just to break the ice. We're not going to break the ice too much because we know you guys from previous episodes.
Yeah, you guys are family.
So you're a part of the Cheatcoders cartel now. So think of your cartel name and
100%.
it'll be awesome. So what is the first article that we're going to hitting up?
Tito Yan Yan. That's my. That's gonna be my fucking cartel name. Tito Yan Yan.
That's it.
I think you got it. You have enough cartel names, bro. You have enough names there. All right. So the article that we have is from the Daily Star, and what we like to do is we like to just throw out some like random bullshit articles. And this is not a random bullshit article. This is something that's really serious. Hey, why are you laughing?
It's just funny how you're just like, we do bullshit articles, but
Some-
just not bullshit.
This is actually pretty serious, right? So there's a guy who says he's traveled, like he's a time traveler, and he has a picture
Yeah.
of an actual dinosaur.
Yeah.
Picture of actual dinosaur. Now, he recorded a video of himself. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. Let me see if I can get this working. Play my fuck.
However, I would like to show you this picture of a T-Rex that, like I said, was taken 60 million years ago.
60 million years ago.
The picture
Wow.
I'm going to show you is actually of a purple T-Rex.
Purple one.
Here is the picture.
Does it have feathers? For those just listening, the T-Rex just looks like a massive penis. So no, joking.
Can you see it? He's holding up a picture of what looks like a T-Rex.
Wow.
And
You
then
can see it shows an actual living T-Rex.
Bullshit. Really?
And I took this within the time machine that I was in.
so okay, for everyone
He's
listening
got
out
two
there,
cameras and he's showing it to his second camera. It's like,
people listening out there, basically you would have heard him say that he took a picture of a T-Rex, a purple T-Rex specifically, right? Now he's holding up a photo that looks like it's a T-Rex in the middle of a desert, or there's nothing else around it. So he traveled to the past, and he's just basically showing the photo, and the photo is supposed to be like unequivocal proof that he's a time traveler and he's seen a purple dinosaur.
He's done a few things, I'm pretty sure. I think he did like a...
is he? No.
No, I think I've seen like random like videos and stuff. Like it could be a different person because they fucking blur their faces. But I think he's done like a previous one on like Donald Trump, saying that in 2020 like Donald Trump will still be the next president, and stuff like that. But first off, how do you guys feel about it? Let me ask you that.
Well, I remember
sound.
Sorry?
Just check it out.
Okay. I remember when I was a kid, I went time traveling and then I also saw a purple dinosaur. And he was like walking in a little box, and he started saying that he loved you and you loved him. And
That's terrifying, man.
Yeah, man.
I remember him. He's a good guy.
You seen that guy? You seen that dinosaur too?
Did you time travel too?
Yeah, so we got two time travelers in Cheatcoders, and then he was trying to build something called I think it was called a family, and but I kind of remember that kind of like triggered me for a moment.
That was good. I like that.
I went back in time just then, so I guess maybe he is a time traveler. Like he sent me back.
Maybe he's right. I mean, he's got the color right. I mean, we've seen evidence of a purple dinosaur.
Yeah, it could be on your head right now. You never know.
I mean, I'm wearing purple headphones, by the way. yeah, because we've all seen a purple dinosaur.
I think I
You
know.
guys have-
I think I know where you're going with
Yeah, I
this.
know. Yeah, I'm just
and
trying to
Raph just said it that he's seen a purple dinosaur. We've all seen it, so we all believe that there are purple dinosaurs. So that must be proof. That must be proof.
probably.
What do you think, Esky? What do you think about this?
It looks like a painting.
Mm.
It does. It looks like a painting.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a promotion for his artwork and he's like the new what's that painter called, the artist
Banksy,
yeah, so it could be like a new Banksy.
Yeah, he could
call
be.
himself Wanksy or something.
or shit artist, because
Yeah, just shit.
What's his name?
we don't know. He's
really
blurred
needs
his
to
face and he
How
just
many views has he got? And in saying that, why has this gotten as much attention as it has? Like,
It's a pretty
if I were to fucking do the same shit, I don't think I'd get that much attention.
it's a catchy
you know?
headline.
because
Yeah.
this is like serious news, guys.
Yeah, man.
This
Yeah.
is like we need people need to know about this
Yeah.
stuff right now.
Yeah.
And like, you know, there may be wars and there may be famine and there may be, you know, Great Barrier Reefs dying, but
But
this
time
is
travel?
the
This
most
is the
important
news.
shit
But
that
that
we
just
need
shows
to be
the power of
talking
the
about.
internet, man. People just want to watch what they want to watch. People are, get attracted to what they're attracted to.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. But in relation to the article, like, I'm just more prone to believing people's truths. Like, fucking every single person has their own form of reality. Every single person has their own form of truth in some way, shape, or form. And if he genuinely believes that he did time travel and take a photo of a purple dinosaur, then I'm prone to believing it. But if it is to like promote some sort of product, I would like all the more power to him, bro. Like, I give him,
You can't knock the hustle.
yeah,
man.
I give him.
They were talking
like,
about
a
it.
shitload of fucking props.
Yeah.
But whatever the fuck he's doing, man, like, bro, the fact that we're fucking talking about it, I don't even know who the fuck the guy is.
True.
So like, bro,
What's his
all the more
accent
props to
from?
him.
You know what? I think that it's a translation, because it doesn't sound like he's actually saying anything, or he must have dubbed it over.
Right.
I can't pick the accent.
If that's
though.
translation, then the real story is that translation was fucking sounding real.
Yeah.
Like,
And-
I thought, you know, you hear your computer voices and stuff, but if
Yeah.
that was a translation, then, you know, that's the story of the day.
The translator probably fucked up. He's probably holding a piece of like a photo saying, "This is my artwork. Does anyone want to like buy it? It's a purple dinosaur
He says.
in Russian or something."
So what he says in this article, they're basically recapping the video. In the video, he says you can actually see that this is an actual living T-Rex that is captured on camera, and he says, "I took this from the time machine that I was in. I encourage any photo experts out there to look at this picture in depth."
I love that. I love
You
that.
can't Photoshop that, man. You can't Photoshop a turd and expect like gold. Yeah.
But it would be hilarious to see people try to analyze it and like do the whole.
Oh, I want to
Yeah.
see
Like-
that. I'm sure someone's done that on Reddit. Like, analyze the photo.
Have you seen all those, like, for example, there's like this cloth that was put on Jesus or something, and then what's that?
The Shroud
called?
of Turin.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know much about that, but that sounds quite crazy. Like, they get a bunch of people analyzing that.
There was a documentary. I think it was on Netflix.
Yeah.
Shout out to Netflix. Sponsor us.
Please.
They talked about the Shroud of Turin, and the Shroud of Turin basically shows blood stains or stains on it in what looks like the shape of a face,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they believe that it was the shape of Jesus's face.
So
Yeah.
where is that located now?
I don't know, man. I don't remember. I remember watching it like a year or so ago.
Wow.
But then, they had to do all this carbon dating, take a piece of it, do all this forensic stuff to it, and then at the end of the documentary, it's like, we don't know, we don't know. But it's like a 2-hour documentary. It's like, oh, we tried this and they tried this, and then maybe it is Jesus, but then at the end, it's like, we don't know.
Oh shit.
We will never know.
Yeah, for real, like I can relate to that because I was like shaking my protein shake. Then I had to open it up just to see if it was liquefying. And then I saw Don's face. I was like,
selective seeing. That's what it is. Selective seeing.
Selective seeing. And then I'm like, the next day,
I'm
just
sure he
joined
just
the
doesn't
Cheatcoders.
imagine your face in his protein shake.
There we go.
Now you've just incepted that into everybody listening.
Yeah.
Now, so every time they're drinking, if you're drinking not just a protein shake, but if you're drinking your coffee and you see my face, just
Hey, you
good
never
morning,
know, man.
good morning to you.
Everyone look into their drink and see what face they see, because that's probably like it's either your soulmate or someone that you got to meet. You got to think about this shit because it'll connect to something somewhere because your mind plays tricks on you.
It's fate.
Yeah.
You could see latte as Nats
seen-
blazing, and you could see
I've seen darkness, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Cool. So Nats
You
is taking
okay,
it that
Nats?
direction.
I mean, it's a black coffee. What can I say? It's dark.
My coffee is black, just like my heart.
I'm looking at my black coffee. It's black, bro. What do you, I have some faces, but I don't. What does that mean?
What's in my?
Hey, what do you reckon about the water in London?
It's shit.
Yeah, it's
But
It's
you
not-
never
it's-
get
you
like
can drink it.
yeah. But
The
what's
tap
the
water?
stuff that that goes on top? It's like calcium or some shit, isn't it?
What? They put calcium in water.
I don't
Yeah.
know, because bro, like the water
It just
in
makes the
London
taste
is
really
dirty
bad.
as fuck,
You can
man.
filter
Whenever
it,
I'm with-
but it's not
yeah.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Mm. It's
Sydney
I've gotten
water,
used
they
to it.
brag the
My
best.
my general standard for taste is just taking a nosedive. So it's cool.
Yeah. It's like it develops all this like weird crusty stuff on top.
Yum.
It's
I don't
nasty.
know,
Yeah,
it's
it's crusty
delicious.
water.
Yeah.
So water's like a
Yum, yum,
upside
yum.
down pizza or something like
Bro,
that.
legit, it's like that. Yeah. It makes you
Pretty
appreciate Australian water.
Man,
Absolutely.
I can't wait for Nats Blazing to come back to Australia.
Yeah.
He could be be like going to like the dirtiest place here and be like, this is such amazing food.
Yeah.
Because his taste buds are accustomed to like
London.
to England and how their food is presented.
Is
Shout out
the
to
food
you
bad
guys.
there?
The food's dirty here. It's just bland. That's all.
Bro.
But
They
it's not
have-
like Philippines.
They have but this is how much packaging they use in London. Bro, they open up a mandarin at the Tesco's and then they take off all the skin and the flesh and they package that in fucking plastic wrap.
Why?
I
Oh
don't
my
know,
God.
bro. Like
There's- never even noticed that.
They do that in like Southeast Asia. So in Singapore, they have corn on the cob, and each one cob is packaged in plastic.
Don't.
oh really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Bro.
I've never
Why?
seen that. They do that
Like
in KFC.
one corn on the cob is wrapped in plastic. Every single one is wrapped in plastic.
I don't know.
Hmm.
Why?
I don't know.
What,
That's
what,
a waste.
What's
It's
the
business.
rationality behind that?
It may be because of how humid it is over there.
Yeah.
They can't
it may
transport
get
it?
off.
That's
Yeah,
true,
it
that's
may go
true.
off like faster. I don't know, man.
That's true.
so there's someone out there that's getting one corner of the cob and then just like
There is
getting a
someone
bunch
out
of them
there.
and then getting a plastic bag.
I always joked about it and was like, one corn on the cob for those lonely nights.
But just goes to show how funny like how funny like a consumable society is. Like any type of if they could have any type of convenience to add onto it, like regardless of how, like the fact that they package everything just because it's like slightly more convenient. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, humans like they want to demand something.
I
And
know, man.
if it's out of season, they're like, I don't give a fuck. Like, give it to me now.
yeah.
And then they'll like find a way to package it. And then
What do you mean
get-
avocados are out of season?
yeah, like I want an avocado right now. And then they'll find a way. They'll remove all the seed. They'll get rid of the skin and then
Yeah,
package it
yeah.
in plastic. Like
Yeah,
that's
far out.
Wow, we
That-
got from that topic to
That took
Yeah.
us. That took us
Back to the purple dinosaur.
the purple dinosaur packaged food.
Yeah.
It's crazy because we're all Filipino, right? With like packaged water
Yeah.
in a plastic bag. So we got experience with that.
Yeah.
That was one of the things back
Oh.
there is falling apart.
It's man. It's a momo. For those who are listening and don't know what momo is, it's like what us Filipinos call ghosts.
It's a bulaga.
Bulaga.
it's the us one.
Yeah,
That's the sound
Ass
that
wang.
they make.
That's Wang.
Ass
Ass
Ass wang.
For all the listeners out there, one of the records on the wall just kind of started falling down,
Yeah.
and that's the
Oh,
that is
shit.
the apparition.
I'm getting
that is
like
the poltergeist.
goosebumps,
That's some
man.
paranormal
You are.
shit.
Holy
bro,
shit.
No shit.
Holy
Fuck.
crap!
It's probably the purple dinosaurs.
It's probably-
ghost.
You know, it'd be fucked up if you look in the field, like the footage, and we see freaking like weird
Oh, bro, you're
Dude,
creepy.
that's my worst
And-
nightmare as a videographer. That's
You
my
must-
worst nightmare.
Remember
Because I
those
edit at
orbs?
nighttime,
You
bro.
get like orbs
Oh
sometimes.
yeah. I really know.
really?
Like back then, before I did videography and stuff, I did like orbs would be like, oh shit. But now I know what orbs are anyway. So
Yeah, they're just like little specks of dust.
yeah, little sweats of dots or like dust on the
Paranormal
lenses
activity.
and stuff. That's what it is. But yeah,
they're
my worst
ghosts.
nightmare.
Actual
The
ghosts.
thing that I'm scared of the most is when I'm editing a footage, and then I see something I'm not supposed to be seeing,
Oh really?
or I see something that wasn't there when I was like
Oh,
recording it.
gosh. I'm laughing. I just find it
What
so
have you-
funny.
what have
What do you mean?
What
you
have
see
you
something
seen?
like, oh, Nuts has his pants off. Oh,
Like ghosts and shit, bro. Like Shutter shit, bro.
Have you
If I'm
seen, like,
editing at
what's
nighttime,
what's the most
everything's-
freakiest thing you've seen?
Oh no, nothing on a fucking what you call it on video, not yet.
Oh really?
But like I'm
It's gonna happen now.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's
It's
gonna happen.
gonna
You've spoken it into existence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
You've
my mind's
jinxed
been
it.
speaking to.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about that moment for
He's
like
gonna-
ages now.
Yeah.
He's gonna be editing this video and be like,
What?
What? Ricky had his pants off the whole time?
Oh, I'm not scared of that. I'm just scared.
Trust me, bro, you'd be scared, bro.
I'd be scared if there's a fifth person in his room, and then I only find out through like video and stuff.
Yeah.
That'll freak me out,
How
man.
do you feel about like spirits and dimensions and like I don't know, just all that paranormal stuff? Like, are you prone to believing in it, or do you completely shut it off? Like, is this reality that we know? Like
let's
your existence and like what you
That's
know?
delving into a whole other
Let's-
space.
Is that definite, or
Let's
are
throw
you
this at Nats,
open?
yeah.
Bro, that was 100 questions in
Yeah.
one, bro.
Throw this at
We could
Nats.
go
Nats,
in
what do you
different
reckon?
directions.
That's this
What do you
next
reckon,
question.
Nats?
Nats, what do you reckon, bro?
I don't have the proof to see it myself, but I think because I'm a bit of a skeptic, that's why the ghosts don't show themselves to me. But I do believe in people that can have a they have like a third eye. But then I
Yeah.
also think maybe they have like a bit of mental illness. So I don't know. It's like borderline.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's hard. I can't myself. I can't say I believe it because I haven't seen it. But
Can I
there's
tell you a
so many
story?
coincidences. I've got a
let's
few
do it.
stories, but they're like we'll be going on forever if we go on it.
Couldn't, what
It's
do you
you guys
No,
story.
I'll just do a quick story.
all right.
Okay. Usually when people see a ghost, they see it by
What?
themselves. Usually when people see a ghost, they see him by themselves, right?
Yeah.
They're sitting by themselves and they just see it like at the corner of their eye.
Yeah.
This is not my story, but this is someone else's story, where
Friend of a friend of mine.
a friend of mine, freaky stories.
Friend of a friend.
5 people were walking down a street and they can swear they all saw the same thing, and it was a ghost that appeared in front of them, like, and then levitated up in the air for about 5 seconds and then vanished.
Fuck.
These are people I know.
Yeah,
like
that's fucked.
they wouldn't all lie.
So, how many of the drugs were they taking?
The real question
could
is,
be.
do they have a picture of it?
no picture.
And
No picture of a dinosaur. No picture of a ghost.
could it have been David Blaine? Could it have been
It
David
could have been
Blaine?
David Blade. I just think like that's the type of stories that freak me out. Is like
when it's like someone you know?
It's
that you
credible,
know.
right? Because there's been
Incredible,
so many
the credible
consistencies.
ones.
What
Yeah.
reason would they lie?
I think when it's one
Yeah.
person saying it, it's like it's paranoia or it's a mental health.
They're just
thing.
fucked up.
Yeah,
Mm.
But if it's 5 people,
it's my people.
5 people,
Oh, yeah,
or it could have just been the
Unless
5
they all
people,
got fooled
could that
on
or-
something.
yeah
or they're just
Or they
in on
took
the same
mushrooms.
joke to freak out Esky.
Yeah.
could be that too.
Like
It could be that.
That's
Until-
something that I would like. I would do that. I would do that with my mates. Like, hey, we're gonna tell Esky that we saw a ghost. Everybody, and he'll believe
do
us
it.
because he thinks that just if one person sees it, it's paranoia. But if 5 of us see it, he's gonna believe it, bro. He'll believe it. He'll believe it.
Yeah.
Hey, I've thought about like I was planning to do this prank to like a friend for like ages.
five people person.
No. Like, you guys can take this because I don't think I'm ever gonna do it in my life. But I was gonna change my ringtone into some fucking freaky grudge thing, like and just put it under like
Oh no.
my roommate's bed or something.
Like Raf's bed.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
While he's editing.
and to just call my phone repeatedly.
You know, it's gonna catch me at the wrong time. too, bro.
Oh,
But how
no.
funny would that be?
Yeah.
What if he gets
It's
a
not that.
heart
If you get
attack?
access to someone's phone and change their ringtone to that, I did it to my cousin one time. I had like a speaker. You get like a Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah.
Put it somewhere and just don't turn it on, and then play something from your phone that sounds freaky, and they'd be like,
You're like
That's messed up.
a kid singing a song or something
Yeah.
like that. That'll be
Crying.
freaky.
Crying.
You use a freaky prank. You get 5 of your friends, right? And then you pick on a stranger, like in the city, and then you eye out this stranger, and then your first friend goes up to him, just like walks past him, and then he goes, "Wake up!" And then he walks away. And then the second person, like 30 minutes later, will just walk past him like while he's at work or something, and he'll be like, "Wake up!" And then he'll walk away. The guy would freak out. The guy would totally freak out.
Has that actually happened?
No.
And Esky, you're the reason why we have lockout laws.
But the dude will be like this, like, "Oh my god, like, what is going on?" He's like, I think I'm in a dream.
Bro, there was a guy. I was watching a video, like some guy in Abu Dhabi or something, and there was like these two pranksters, and then the two pranksters had like one guy in a wheelchair and the other guy pushing him, and then they would go a certain direction, and then there'd be a runner coming on the other direction, and then they'll go to the runner. "Hey, how do I get to I don't know, let's say like how do I get to like Mandroid shops, for example?" And then they'll point down and they'll be like, "Oh, that way." So the runner will run in the same direction, and the wheelchair guy and the wheelchair guy will go in the opposite direction, and then they'll get in a car and they'll drive all the way around
To meet him again.
Yeah, to meet him again and do the same shit. And then the runner guy will be like, "Bro, how the fuck did you get here? Like, are you fucking with me?" Like,
That's like next
they
level
did that like
prank.
4 or 5 times, bro.
Oh, it's actual prank.
Bro, it was so funny.
It's deja vu.
Yeah, it was so funny.
It's crazy.
Oh,
So everyone
yeah.
out there, all the listeners, all the people watching, take these and do them. Please do
them,
these.
Yeah.
and film it.
Welcome back to the Cheatcoders podcast.
We're
We
back.
have the guys from Opnsrc, Ricky and Esky.
Yo.
And they are here today to talk about the open source group and what they've done, what they're doing, and what's happening in the future, the whole
sounds a lot like
damn
that.
lot.
The
So
whole
how
schmozzle.
did this open source thing happen, and
A lot of
how did it
doing.
begin?
Is it just you guys, or are there other
No,
There's
so
a
we've got a
team.
whole team, man. Like the whole team. is
Wu-Tang,
like,
bro.
Yeah, legit. Like, it's a bunch of fucking
Wu-Tang.
animals. So like how it essentially started was like, I think it just started with just first off we just wanted to throw an event, and then after we threw the event, like the initial intention was like just to build a team for all creatives. So for example, because like bro, every single fucking creative, like it's a lot easier to do something with a team than on your own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was trying to make the intention was to make the whole movement quite fluid, where if a creative had a project in any way, shape or form, they would just come to the open source team, pitch their project, then we help get it up and running, and then they just move out, and then next creative, like so on and so forth. So just like
So it's a project team for creators.
so
More
it's,
project
it's
thing.
like
Doesn't have to be
that.
events, you know.
But then but then now right now we're just like we're trying to hone in on the events purely to set the tone for the culture and the community, because it's one thing doing like saying we're doing something, but it's another thing when the end person or the overall community can like feel the fucking energy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
You want to raise that awareness.
yeah, and
basically.
like for the overall community to get a genuine feel of what's actually genuinely going on around them is purely to fucking get them amongst it. So why
Yeah.
not throw events? But yeah, like as far as overall direction, like as I said earlier in the podcast, it's purely I want to position ourselves to be like the platform of platforms.
Mhm.
Like for Western Sydney, by Western Sydney, to get Western Sydney at a stage where the community and the culture, and the people and the talent, it stands tall amongst the rest of the world. Like when people like
No.
for Western Sydney to genuinely have like its own recognized scene.
Yeah.
Like for people to be like, yeah, bro, that's a Western Sydney thing. You know what I mean? Which is it's sort of happening now. Everyone's sort of like jumping on this like on the wave and like pushing Western Sydney and showing showing like legitimate support. But as far as goals for this year is like, I'm gonna want to have a network of podcasts. Want to push our own agenda, to push our own artists, to push our own movement, just to push like us as a whole. Because like, I don't know if you like the Australian scene as a whole, because the population in Australia isn't as dense as the UK or America, for example. it's very difficult for someone to be recognized and to be noticed as like for their art, if anything. And because the population isn't as dense, there isn't many like subcultures popping up. Whereas in the UK or America, like because the population is so fucking dense, you have like so many different subcultures like popping up everywhere that they could push their artistry through any form of platform. Like, but in Australia, like the only platform like is Triple J essentially. So they're essentially like gatekeepers of like the whole entire movement
of the local scene.
So why not fucking create our own little funnel? And, like,
yeah, and with the prominence of internet, anyone could have a platform. We got a platform. Man. We are the Cheatcoders. You guys 100%. Have a platform, and so if we could just, join platforms together, build a little community, join forces, and create our own,
It's like Voltron.
That's the word. And then we could just create a huge impact.
Captain Planet.
Yeah.
So did you create open source? Is it your idea, or was it a accumulation of a group?
I guess you could call me like the birth child of it. Like,
would you be the father or the mother?
I'd be both essentially.
Hey.
But yeah, I don't really like to claim like the spot, but like
But yes, I am. I hate claiming, but I am.
But yes, I did everything. It was my idea.
Like I don't like, I don't like, because I genuinely see everyone as equals, man. Like I don't feel like I'm above nor below anyone. So
and like you said, it takes a team to produce something. Man. So it's not like
it takes a team.
Yeah,
100%. And man, like genuinely, like the open source team are like fucking animals. Like they're each skilled in their own right. It's just more so about synergy now, like getting everyone to like push towards like something fucking greater.
Exactly. Like everyone has their own expertise. You can get your like person who's really business minded, you get your person who's really creative, and you got your person who's technical minded. So if you just get that together, everyone can do their part, and then they could just push to one direction. You know what I mean?
Most definitely.
I like what you said about like Triple J is one of the main gatekeepers for music or for local artists here in Australia, and you want to give Western Sydney, people from Western Sydney or creators from Western Sydney another platform
100%,
to get out there. Have you ever seen, and this is a question that I was thinking before, because being from Western Sydney has always had a certain stigma.
Yeah.
Ooh, the record just fell off the...
They're around us.
I'm just not going to edit this video, okay?
The record just fell off the wall. Yeah, there's a sort of... stereotype or stigma to someone being from Western Sydney, and I think it's great that you want to build a platform for people from Western Sydney. But have you ever seen, like, do creatives tend to own that to the point where they just stay within Western Sydney and don't go further than that, or is it like, I'm big in Western Sydney and I'm not gonna I can't get anywhere bigger than that? Like, have you ever seen
where like they don't, as in
they created a glass ceiling?
Yeah, there's a glass ceiling. Yeah, they plateau from being Western Sydney in quotation marks. You know what I mean?
I don't think so necessarily. Like,
and
the way I see the whole Western Sydney thing going, it's not just plateauing at the whole Western Sydney level. It's this whole Western Sydney movement is purely for support.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like 110% support.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anyone plateaus at like a certain area. Like, people plateau to where they want to plateau. The moment like doubt or fear or anything sort of like comes over like a person, like that's what initially stops them. Like, bro, like you can play at whatever fucking level you want to play at. If you want to play in the level as a normal like human being, then like you play at like you accept what level you play at. If I want to play in the same ballpark like fucking millionaires play at, then I got to do shit that fucking millionaires do. If I want to play in the same ballpark that billionaires play at, then I got to do the same shit billionaires do. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, as an artist, if I want to be in the same ballpark, if I want to play as like a local fucking superstar, then I just got to do what local superstars do. But if I want to be fucking international, and if I want to be that guy that is known, or that guy or girl that's known like around the world, then I got to do like that type of shit.
You gotta operate at that level.
Like it's not up to it's up to the individual person themselves to decide how far they want to take their craft. You know what I mean? The moment that that's the thing, like for someone to put that like on themselves, like, oh, I can't go out of, I can't break the ceiling of Western Sydney. Like that's on them. You know what I mean? That's their doubt. That's their personal. I don't know. It could be some sort of insecurity in some way, shape, or form. But like it's purely on them. It's not. Yeah. It's they decide what ballpark they want to play at.
Yeah, and plus creating this platform, you're creating a culture. Within, because like, you know, if you see an example is like you go to America, there's always going to be like a Chicago culture, there's a New York culture, there's also LA culture, and they have their own significance.
Within New York there's the Brooklyn, the Brooklyn culture, there's
and everything.
Manhattan.
There's all subgroups, and then in the UK you got the grime culture. So if you like, and culture speaks a lot of volumes, and it could travel around the world. Like if everyone in Western Sydney build this certain culture, and then everyone's organic, it just morphs into something that could speak louder, man. And then travel overseas, and then people then say, I don't know, UK be like, oh, Sydney has this culture thing going on, we'll just make up a name for it now, we could call it like Sydney psychopathic, not that, but you know, but you know what I mean. It'll speak. I
like how Sydney psychopathic came to mind.
I was doing alliteration and I was like Sydney psycho,
like underground, Sydney underground or something like that.
Some sort of like vibe, you know.
Because I've heard a lot of artists who are from Western Sydney. They may be called underground because not many people know them in the mainstream. So it could be like the Sydney underground. That might be really cool as a scene, as a culture.
And then we could just, you know, that could grow into Eastern Australia type of thing, like, you know how America has East and West culture and stuff, and this can grow. It can grow, man. This is different levels of this shit.
That's exactly it. Like,
start from the ground, start from the territory.
That's exactly it. Like everything is fucking levels, man, and like you genuinely determine what level you want to play at. But like the most important thing is like when I preach levels, like to operate at like if I would like to be like an international superstar first, you know what I mean? Like to operate at that type of level, like fair enough, you do what international superstars do, but you have to make sure that the foundation is set, because if I were to like reach to be an international superstar in some way, shape, or form, like so quick, so fast, without the initial foundation being set, then what happens if the floor caves in? Then what do I have to fall back on? That's what I mean by foundation. But for someone to climb the ranks, so from like local to fucking state to national, then to international, like you have to make sure like the foundation is set solid from the very start of the career upwards. And I know it's like it's quite a hard climb and difficult journey, if anything, but as long as the work is done at the initial start, then like the payoff is just as great. For example, if one were to reach international stardom so quick, like, and then what happens if they're relevant in like, I don't know, 6 months, a year? Then what? Like that's why like you get a lot of like washed up fucking superstars, man, because the initial foundation wasn't set, and then their initial vision was to become like the best of whatever the fuck they are, like to be known. I don't know if this is making sense.
No, it makes sense.
But what I'm trying to preach is like is just genuine like foundation. Like that's what people should be focusing on when climbing through the ranks and when climbing through the levels.
It really depends on the person. If an artist wants 15 minutes of fame and that's their goal, then that's, you know, you can't knock them for it.
100%.
And then if an artist wants to build a legacy, then they should focus on foundation and then
100%.
Building from there, because you know, legacy is based on ground up.
100%.
And having a dense culture
100%.
and creating that. Well, if 15 minutes of fame, you could shoot up to the top for like, you know, doing something that viral stuff does, you know, and just do that. And then if you're happy with that, you're happy with that. Really depends on what you're happy with, makes you, you know, whatever makes you happy. But legacy based, I get what you're saying. Yeah, man. For sure.
Like that.
100%.
So in terms of what you've done in open source. What type of events have you been doing?
So right now, we've been doing like so right now, I guess technically you could say that we've got 2 platforms going on at the moment. So one, we've got like the culture platform, and then 2, we've got like a cult party, which we hold at like Rudy Hill Imperial. So the whole basis of the whole culture platform is just purely just to throw like events that focus on either particular subcultures or a different type of environment, or even like cultures. Like I want to do like some sort of Filipino party next, where we have like we throw in like some
Tickling on the floor.
Yeah. And do, like, no, legit, bro. Like,
can we have a boodle fight as well?
Yeah,
Yeah, legit boodle fight would be
legit,
sick.
but like we focus on like
So
even
give
like
bottles of
Filipino
water, give it
artists.
in plastic bags.
Yeah,
I'll be there.
100%.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
That actually would be pretty cool.
Because bro, like
It's gonna be hard to find plastic bags nowadays.
Yeah.
Though, so
we just go fucking Woolies and buy something, bro. I don't know.
you
No,
can't
but
even
like-
get it from Woolies.
Yeah, I
You
don't
get the
know.
Woolies bags.
But yeah, it's just to it's to showcase people's culture. Because bro, fucking at school, what was the biggest day? Multicultural day, you know.
Boom.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People like to show off their fucking culture. Why can't we do it in like a bigger scale?
Yeah.
But that's just one. So that's the whole culture events that we're doing. Then we've got cult party, which is so the whole premise of cult party is like we have a culture event, and then because with the whole, I've noticed the drinking crowd doesn't necessarily tend to play with like the alternative creative crowd, if that makes sense. So then how can we introduce the how can we introduce like creative live music to a drinking crowd that's just used to going to the city and just dancing and fucking just like drinking, you know what I mean? So then we should just do like a local event at fucking like at a local pub, which is what we're using, the Imperial. And then just like
Shout
we
outs.
use the same acts, like I say, probably, yeah, reuse the same acts, not put too much, like, effort, like, making it, like, too glitzy and glamoury, just, like, have it something, like, that's familiar with everyone,
Yeah.
and just, like, have the focus be on, like, one act and, like, a bunch of fucking DJs or something, man. So, and that's how we merge both cultures.
Yeah.
'Cause, like, in order for the whole movement to unify, like, there has to be genuine awareness throughout the whole fucking thing. You know what I mean? We can't just cater to one crowd. We've got to cater to fucking all fucking crowds.
Yeah.
So we got
Yeah.
culture and we have cult parties.
Yeah, cult party.
Yeah. And that like so the culture party. Sorry, Ricky.
Yeah.
So the culture party was the St. Mary's pool party, which was like
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Ripple's party, which was like an old-
I'm sorry I missed that, man.
yeah, it was sick. It was like an alternative, providing people with an alternative event. It's like nothing they've seen before. And then the cult party was about a couple of weeks after that, where we had the same acts that had the pool party, but just do it at the pub Imperial Hotel.
Yeah.
Which is like fucking awesome. So the Imperial Hotel is just outside the Rudy Hill Station, and we've never seen events held there before, like on the open source scale. You usually go to the Lansdowne or like somewhere in the new town, and you get these like pubs that have been morphed into an event, a hip hop event. You don't see that in Rudy Hill. So we've activated the spaces, and we're looking for more pubs that might do the same.
Not even pub, just like places.
Whatever, yeah.
Like,
There's a place in Marsden Park that just opened up recently.
yeah.
The
I-
Marsden?
Is that
Yo,
is that what
yeah.
it's called?
If
There
they
is some.
end up, if anyone knows them, or if anyone is in some sort of association with them, let them know. I'll do their fucking weekly events. Like, we've got a crowd, we've got people love our shit, man. Like, we can take care of that for them.
There's also that space in Old Mount Druitt.
Yeah.
that someone's been like really trying to push us to do some
Yeah.
stuff there, and
Yeah.
Nice.
yeah, just upstairs from Mate Burger, which Mate Burger's doing fucking awesome right
Yeah.
now. But
Shout outs.
shout out
I
to
wanted
them.
to do. I think it's like
Sponsor
a
us.
karaoke
Hard.
bar apparently.
A
So I wanted to
karaoke
do the
bar.
Filipino thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
the fellas in the
yeah.
Philippines. You
That's
should do it
all.
in the basement, like like
The
hire
old-
that out, just
nah,
like old
that's
school.
not fucking. That's not the basement anymore.
I know
bro.
that's my mind. You should do it just for one day.
Yeah.
It's back to
Just for old sake.
back to its
Yeah.
Philo
You perform at the
roots.
basement, Don? That'd be your
I
thing.
performed there a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Philo Don.
Bring back
here.
Soul Good.
Get Don back in there, bro.
Bring back Soul Good.
Bring
man,
back the
everything.
whole
Oh,
Soul Good.
man.
That'd be sick.
Man, hey, Soul Good was good.
That was
man.
good.
Yeah, that's why it's called Soul Good.
Yeah. How come? What
Bring
happened to
back
that?
Soul Good.
There's a long story that I won't bring up
Okay.
on,
Yeah.
this episode.
It wasn't Soul Good, I
There's
guess.
a long story. I'll tell you off camera.
Yeah. No, but that was good, man.
That was good. I still remember that.
That was sick.
So with these events, how many have you done so far?
We've
Is
only
it
done three.
Three, and you just started these events mid last year, yeah?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
bro, like this is the only project that I've ever done that's kicked off like fucking wildfire, man.
Yeah.
Like I've done so much shit in the past, but this is the only thing that I've done that's like kicked off the way it has. Like the fact that like there's like a team, we've got like a solid team of like say 10.
10.
Yeah, we've got
10.
like a team of 10. Like in the fact that they're all doing it because like for the love of the community culture. Like, bro, that to me like I can't be any more grateful. I can't
Definitely.
I can't like thank who the fuck's like looking out for me, bro. Like
I think, and I know for sure that when you have a purpose for something, that is what sets it apart from
100%.
from anything. Like you could just be like, oh, I want to achieve making mugs or something.
Yeah.
And then if you don't have a purpose for that, then there's no driving force behind
Yeah.
100%.
that.
Make your
project.
why greater than your how. is what
100%.
it
Yeah,
says.
yeah, yeah.
100%. Like in all honesty, like I feel like my genuine purpose in this world is purely for awareness and unity.
Yeah.
Like whatever, like even if my body fucking decays and I genuinely feel like my purpose will outlive my fucking like my body.
I like
you know
that.
What I mean?
I like that a
So
lot.
like, bro,
Awareness
Yeah.
and community.
Any last words?
Awareness and community.
but legit, bro, if I die, man. Like I don't give a fuck. Like as long as.
But yeah,
as
you
long
wanna
as, like,
set a
it's- Yeah,
legacy.
as long as it's like still going, man.
Because I heard this quote from a podcast or something. I forgot where I heard it, but now I keep using it over and over again. You only die twice. The first time you die is when you actually die. The second time you die is the last person that says your name.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
I
So
love
that's
that.
all about legacy. It's all
100%.
about like what you put into the world, and then like you
100%.
can die when you die, but then what matters most is when you die the second time.
100%.
When the last person says your name and what you've done in this
100%.
world. So like yeah, it's all about chasing that
What
legacy,
legacy
man.
have you
What you
built?
put in
Yeah.
this world. Yeah, and I truly believe that for
Yeah.
sure.
What would you consider your boys' legacy? Like, what type of impact would you boys like to leave in this world?
We have a similar one to you, that we want to bring people's stories, bring people's experiences out into the world. You know, like we want it's about awareness. It's about community for us as well. It's about unity and community.
Yeah.
But it's basically that. Like we like telling stories. We like sharing people's stories,
Yeah.
getting people's insights on their experiences and their successes and what they've learned. Because when you share those stories, you inspire other people,
Oh, yeah.
100%.
and then those people will then aspire to do great things,
Yes.
and then that'll inspire other people. Then that keeps the ball rolling,
And
it's
life just gets a whole lot better.
yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
man.
That's
Yeah.
the whole point.
We're all for the creative life. We're all for
100%.
people being creative and creating stuff, because
Yeah.
that's the only thing that separates us from everything else, is our creativity and being able to make music, videos, art, all that stuff, and being able to think that differently than the
Yeah.
usual thing is like that message that we want to keep sending to the next generation, or the people that are around us, or inspire people who'll be like, you know what, I want to be creative too. And like, because we like talking about the robots is the end of our world. And yeah, so the only way to beat the robots is through our creative prowess.
That's right.
And,
That's
To be
right.
creative.
and to get our hoses and hose them down.
Because they're not waterproof.
Creativity and
Yeah. But you're sitting here, and I can feel your passion. I can feel your drive for the both of you guys to do this, to build this community, to showcase people. And the people that are listening to this and that are watching this, they may feel inspired to go, you know what? I want to put together a small event for my school, or
Yeah.
put together this.
100%,
and that's
man.
exactly what we want. We want people to just continue pushing and
Yeah.
continue creating stuff.
And if
100%.
they're scared to start, like, hit us up. We're always keen to help. I'm always keen to help.
Yeah.
And not that in the sense that we're gatekeepers or anything, but just like, I feel like some people are just so scared to just start
To start,
yeah,
yeah.
man,
because they don't
like,
know where to start.
it's always the fucking first step. That's always the fucking hard. Like that's the hardest step in anyone's journey. Like I know so many people with so much so much drive and so much passion, but like it's just that first step that the first initial hurdle that they got to get that they got to get over.
Because the minute they strike a bit of a failure or a hurdle, then they suddenly have these doubts and they're like, oh, maybe it's not for me.
Yeah,
It's like, nah, man, like just like keep going or
100%.
Find a team or something.
Yeah, and then you guys are organizing events here, and then people now see that it's possible.
Yeah.
You can actually get a viable and successful event just at Rudy Hill.
Yeah, man.
You know, people wouldn't have to like recognize that. Back in our day, we had like Elite and Groove, the dance events.
Was
That's
that
the
was
only
that
thing I
Big Town?
remember.
What was that?
Yeah,
What
I've
was
been to
that?
them. Yeah, they were sick.
That's the only one. Shout outs to Hoop Dreams and shout outs to him guys. But that was
No
our
John.
childhood. Yeah, shout out to No John. And then like now,
They should bring that back. The dance scene's coming up now.
yeah, dancing has always been there.
You guys should bring that back.
Yeah.
Who's the guy that ran it?
I don't remember.
Where was
it's on my phone. I'll give it to you guys
Yeah.
later.
Where was it?
Blacktown, the
Basement.
It was in a
No, it
which
was-
one?
No, which one are you guys talking about? The
Like
Oh,
Groove?
it was
Yeah,
at
Groove.
Love
Yeah,
Hall
where's
and
Groove?
stuff.
They were in a bunch of places. They were just in like
That was in Blacktown. It was in Beaumont.
Yeah.
yeah, that's the one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout outs to Sydney.
to Blacktown City Council.
Only the
Yeah.
Westies know
Was
that.
that Blacktown City Council?
No.
Oh.
I have the number.
Shout outs to Nats. He did an event. Shout outs
Yo,
to
what
you,
up,
bro.
Yeah, Nats.
Nathaniel, you still there, mate?
He's probably asleep right now.
Yo, sorry. Yeah, still here. Still here. I just missed that part because it was lagging.
Oh shit.
Shout outs to you for
What's
doing
good?
an event.
Yeah,
man.
you used to do events before as well.
Yeah. Long time ago. But, yeah, long time ago. That was during Soul Good. You were doing that too, Don.
We all did events. We should all just team up and make events.
Fucking
together.
yeah, let's
That's
do
like
it.
a new
That's
generation
legit.
of events.
100%.
So it's inspiring to see that it's still going on to this day. Like you
Yeah.
guys are doing it now in this sense.
Yeah.
Because it does bring back a lot of memories of stuff that you guys are talking about and that same passion and drive. It's obviously like we're harnessing that now into the podcast
Yeah.
in this spec, but just looking back, it's just like, oh man, that's cool. I remember those days, having a street team and just having like, you know, like your dreams are only limited to yourself. So it's amazing
100%.
to just hear like you guys are looking international goals from like, you know, that's how fucking NWA started. Compton was a joke before.
Yeah, man.
Kind of thing, you know, like people say like, what rap from Compton, West Coast, that's nothing, man. It's New York, that's where it's at. And look at them now, kind of thing. Small town ghetto where nothing could come out from, and bam, they got like a biopic and shit. So keep going.
Nah, bro, thank you, man. Bro, in all honesty, man, like thanks to like you boys as well, cause like genuine, like, cause you boys were doing the same thing like back in the day as well. Like, and the way I see everything is cyclicity. You know what I mean? Like everything goes in cycles. Like you guys did like the first cycle. I'm sure there was like another cycle before you boys. Now we're taking over the next cycle. But you boys genuinely paved the way for us. Like, bro, I used to see you boys rap and stuff as well, man, and do all those like fuck, what are those videos?
YouTube covers.
Yeah, YouTube covers.
YouTube
and all that.
covers. I mean, that was the raise. Like that was the vibe. That was
Yeah, like you boys genuinely set the tone for like our generation, man.
No worries, man.
Like, so
Thank
like
you.
legit, like no, bro, like
Getting-
legit,
getting the
fucking,
warm
like,
Feeling all
fuzzies
warm
right
and
now.
fuzzies,
Yeah.
man.
No, but
Yeah,
like
getting
legit,
all warm
like,
and fuzzy right now and
thank you
shit.
to you boys, like legit.
I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for Round Circle.
Yeah.
Shouts to Round Circle.
Round
Shout out
Circle.
right there.
By the
Awesome
way, I
shout
think
out.
the Round Circle website is still up there somewhere. So
Is it still
I'm
working?
pretty sure there's
Nats?
like I
Is
saw
it?
the logo.
I have no fucking clue. Raph was my admin guy, so Raph was it.
I really have no idea.
Shout out to Round
But
Circle.
like, you know, it's no longer around circles, all Cheatcoders now. I'm taking the reins.
That's the pass, yo.
But like, yeah, for the open source, do you guys have a website or anything?
Yeah, we got a website. It's merely like a landing page. We got like a guy doing everything. Well, like our main visual identity guy is a guy named Mehmet. He's a fucking beast on his own as well.
Shout out.
Shout out
So
to
he's
Mehmet.
the visual identity guy of Mehmet. So he's the guy that's in charge of like synchronizing every visual aspect of open source. So it's got the like the Instagram, the Facebook, the website.
He's the one who thought of the vibes that of your videos,
Like black
and white.
promo vibes of the cult party.
No, that was so he did the overall. Oh, the black and white. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Mehmet's thing. But the guy who edited the video is video guy. So Imran. Imran's a fucking gangster too,
Shout out
man.
to
Shout outs.
Imran.
So, bro, these guys are just like they just have genuine passion for their craft.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's, but like, bro, like I believe me when I say, man, like the team is like a bunch of fucking animals, man. Like they're all crazy in their own
Nice.
right. And that's the thing, like I don't know shit about any of that. So why not give complete full creative control to someone that does.
Yeah, man.
You know
With a
what I
bunch of
mean?
animals, you got to create a zoo
Yeah, that's
Showcase
exactly it. That's exactly it.
in a good
Everyone should
way.
be called
We
open source zoo.
you know, we want, you know, our animals treated well.
Yeah, that's right.
In the zoo.
Taronga Zoo sponsor us.
Yeah, sponsor us.
Yeah.
This is a message from Taronga Zoo.
This has been sponsored not by Taronga Zoo. Not really.
Use Cheatcoders for $5 off your
Hey, I'd go to Taronga
Hey,
Zoo
how much
tomorrow,
does it
bro.
cost to go to Taronga Zoo? It's like fucking $80 now, isn't it?
Oh,
Could you do
man.
it?
You know
at
what?
Taronga Zoo?
I'd love to.
Like, I love Taronga Zoo, but you know what's better? Featherdale Wildlife Park.
Oh,
Featherdale
is the
Oh.
place to
Featherdale.
be.
I've never been
Apparently, there's going to be another zoo in
Western Sydney.
next to it, so that's going to kill Featherdale like to the max. But if you go to Dubbo, go to the park there. I think it's Western Plains Zoo.
Yeah.
And then you actually drive to
Yeah, no, I've been there,
each station, and then
Is
they
it good?
had like big open areas for their animals and stuff.
It's like Jurassic Park.
Yeah, you can hire a bike to go around the zoo, so that's
Really?
it's pretty
Oh, that's
big.
a good
So-
concept.
That'd be
That's like
awesome.
Jurassic Park, bro.
It is like
It's
Jurassic Park.
It's like
Yeah.
Pokemon Snap. Is that what it is?
Pokemon Snap. Bring that back.
Safari Zone.
Showing my age. I'm sorry. I'm showing my age.
He's always showing his age. Always. Oh, every single wrinkle. But open source. So you guys are a bunch of animals put together and then creating all this stuff. Is there anything other than events that you're going to do? Like, are you going to get into like being a music label or a
Nah, that's it,
distribution?
bro.
or-
There's so many people in the music scene right now, man. Like, so the way I position ourselves in the music scene, like we just support the music scene. But bro, it's just like open source is just gonna be like a platform for like all creatives in any way, shape, or form. Like I want to do by the end of this year, I want to have like a bunch of like some sort of Vice type channel as well on YouTube.
Yeah,
So like we just like whoever's got projects and all that. So I'm thinking of doing like just kicking it off with just like a bunch of short films because like the film scene is coming up right now.
Yeah.
And like I know Blacktown has got like Blacktown is running like a short film festival as well.
Nice.
So
And
that's
we're trying to
happening.
get Lovebed Studios, so shout outs to them.
Yeah,
Shout
what
out.
up, Lovebed Studios?
a lot of shout outs in this, right? A lot of
I know, we're just
shout-outs to
name
everyone.
dropping. Excuse me, let me just pick up all the names that we dropped on the floor here.
So yeah, that's one avenue, and one the podcast network. So like that, I'm like genuinely working on that. I'm probably going to commit to probably 2-3 podcasts a week.
So what's this podcast network? I'm interested in this.
Podcast network in the sense where like
You have our attention.
yeah, any type of podcast.
Yeah, bro.
So like just whoever's got
That's
like
us.
whoever wants to do a podcast in any way, shape, or form. Because the idea with this whole podcast network is like each individual podcast will have its own audience. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like radio stations are like dying now because everyone wants to listen to whatever the fuck content they want to actually listen to. So if like for example, Cheatcoders have got their own podcast, and I was gonna do like another podcast. I'm thinking of calling it Real Radio. And then I'm gonna do like another podcast called like The Start, and then we've got Deep Tings, and there's like a few others
Deep
that we're like
Shout
planning on
outs.
as well.
Deep
But for
Tings.
each individual podcast to have its own like audience, then we could just push our own agenda throughout the whole thing, our own artists, our own events, our own people, our own movement, like, and just like keep propping each other up, so like we all grow as like an entire like singular unit, as opposed to like one group coming up, and then another group coming up, then another group coming up.
Definitely.
Like why not like work together as like as a whole and just
It's a
come up
community,
together?
yeah. Building together.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
one. And like what we're doing right now is like we're gonna like hit like fashion hard this year too as well, because like
Ooh.
there's no
Example is Esky's
Yeah.
fashion. Yeah.
yeah. Like to be fair, like
How many people got the camera
Speaking of
around?
yeah.
Speaking of fashion, what's that shirt you're wearing there, right?
Young
Achievers.
Achievers.
Local
Young
brand.
Achievers, shout outs to Gunnar.
They actually got a couple of new designs happening. So you just follow Young Achievers Forever on their Instagram page, and they're really local to the point that everything runs through their Instagram.
Cheatcoders.
And they also
Sponsored by
try
Young
to
Achievers.
bring some money back into the community, whether it be charities or like youth groups or anything like that.
Not-for-profit,
So that's their vision, and check them out for sure. This is one of the designs. Red. They come in a good maroon shirt too. I love that shirt. My
What up,
favorite
Young
one.
Achievers?
That's with
Shout
Eric
outs to you guys.
Gunnar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He also does videos too. Check him out.
Yeah.
And so
This
yeah.
episode is sponsored by Young Achievers.
Yeah. I'm sponsored by Young Achievers. I
Rap's
just walk around.
Rap is sponsored by Young Achievers. He's got Young Achievers
Rap's whole
tattooed on his
wardrobe.
ass.
He's got 7 shirts.
Yeah, man. I go to like Macca's and be like, "Can I get a Mac chicken meal?" By the way, I'm sponsored by Young Achievers.
No, wait, that's nice.
How should you get
That's
on?
nice.
I get t-shirts. I get clothed. So I'm good. But back to your open source thing. So you're going into fashion.
Yeah, because
fashion shows or actual like
fashion shows,
merch?
Fashion shows. Because my girlfriend, she's actually studying at UTS. She's doing her honors this year.
Shout outs to Nicole.
Yeah, what up,
Shout
Nicole?
outs.
I love you.
I'm just gonna call this episode shout outs.
But yeah, she's doing like, so this year she's
Everyone
doing
gets
her
a shout.
honors. So she's doing an entire like collection on. It's actually on like, I don't know, like the collection is based on
You gotta get this right.
Like, I actually don't know. I think cultural
Or it's gonna be,
conformity. Or something. It's like about being like
sleeping on the couch.
we'll all be able to relate to the actual collection, because it's like it's about being like a Filipino Australian. Like, what do we identify with? Being Filipino, or do we identify with being Australian? You know what I mean?
How
Ooh, that's a good-
we
that's a good
conform to a particular
Yeah,
stereotype
yeah.
or culture.
So it's like we were in Philippines earlier this year for like a month, just to like one, source fabrics, and two, just like get amongst our culture, man. I don't know. I
Drink
actually
Red
learned a lot.
Horse, San Miguel,
Yeah,
eat lots of
Red Horse.
lechon.
100%. 100%.
Pig on a stick.
Let's sidetrack to that. I just want to just ask: do you identify as a Filipino or Australian?
I'll be honest with you. I didn't identify because we're in because the Filipino community here is so strong and there's a lot of people like us. Like, I didn't think much of it, and then I met this girl the other day. Ever since Nicole started like obsessing over this whole conversation, like I started to think about it even more, and then I started asking other people the question, but then sometimes they didn't really understand what I was saying. And then I met this girl from this girl. Yo, what up, Jay Slays?
Shout out.
From North Sydney, and she's the only half Filipino amongst her community, and they're all pretty much like purebred, like white Aussies essentially.
There are lots of Filipinos in Lane Cove.
And then she
in that area.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Shout outs.
But then she didn't know. She didn't really know, like, was she Filipino? Was she Australian? Like, and then she just had this like massive conversation like with Nicole, and like that's like a conversation that she's been trying to push as well. So like that just made me realize that this whole conversation like has actually got like a lot of legs and a lot of ground to stand on. Yeah, but I don't know,
like here in
I don't know
Australia,
much.
I identify as Filipino, but if I go to the Philippines, I'm
You're-
going to be
yeah, you're
identifying as Australian.
How crazy is
it
that,
just
man?
leaks out.
Yeah,
It's supposed to be different.
You know,
That's-
like kumusta, mate?
yeah. I know, it's weird.
I mean, that's the
It's
thing that happens. Like we grow up here, and for me, I identify as Australian because I grew up here. But when I go back to the Philippines, I'm not Filipino in the sense that everyone there is Filipino.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they'll and I'm not saying that this it's a bad thing, but some Filipinos are like, oh yeah, let's wear the Filipino flag, and I was over there. My cousins were like, do you want to buy a jacket with the Filipino flag on it, or do you want to buy a sticker and stick it on your car?
Oh.
And they wanted me to have Filipino flags everywhere, and I'm like,
Sponsored by Filipinos.
yeah, sponsored by
What up,
Filipinos.
Philippines?
And I'm like, nah, I don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't even do that with the Australian flag, but
yeah.
like, you know what I mean? That's
But if Cheatcoders had a flag, boom, this is going to be on his fucking shoulders.
I got the three of our faces tattooed on my ass. No,
I hope I'm on the
She's
other one.
always shitting on us. Always.
Legit, if you got my if you got my face tattooed on your bum, I'd get your face tattooed on my bum. Put it that way.
Oh,
I'm hoping
sweet.
that could be a
Okay.
thing.
It could be half a
It's gonna
face, so you
happen.
could just
I'm hoping
join
that
up
could be a
together
thing that
with
we
your
all have
bums.
each other's faces tattooed on each other.
Nice. So back to our topic.
You're just skimming over that. Raph was like, shit, no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that.
Roll it back.
I'm gonna bring it back to that a little bit later on.
Yeah, let's do it. But how about you, Esky? Do you identify as Filipino, or do you identify as...
Generally, I just don't like identifying as a nation. But I would say that
That's such a Newtown answer.
I'm born in Australia.
Yeah.
So my passport says my nationality is Australian, just for like
Aussie.
legality's sake.
Yeah.
But I always people ask me, and I know what they're asking. They're asking where your parents from, or like where do you get that look from?
Where you from?
Yeah, it's like
Australia. No.
no,
Where you
where you
really
actually from? I know what they're saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would just say my parents are from the Philippines.
Yeah.
But I don't like identifying with
Yeah.
nations. I think it's
Mm.
troubling anyway. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just be like, just identify as a West Sydney,
Yeah.
Western Sydney cider.
Or a human being.
what about you, Nats? Are you Australian or Filipino in London?
Are
He's
you
English
a
now.
Yeah.
You're a Brit now, mate.
It's continental.
I'm on British now.
Bro, there's no Filipinos there, eh?
There's heaps of
There's
Filipinos.
they're all concentrated in one area. They're all near Jollibee. Near Jollibee.
Is there a Jollibee there?
In Earl's Court. It's the Filipino area.
Jollibee is like the light,
to
and
answer
the
your
Filipinos
question,
are the
though,
flies.
Gravitate towards it.
Just wherever the chicken is, pretty much.
Yeah.
Now, I've always identified as Australian, even when I was younger. But like, it always comes up in convo. Like, I'll say, obviously, my background's Filipino, but Australian,
are you
born and
sure
raised.
you've always identified as Australian? Nats the
But
Pinoy
as
rapper.
I did call myself Nats the Pinoy rapper. So you got me
Okay,
there.
all right, Nats, did you do this because when you appeal to somebody's identity, your marketing just goes crazy?
Wow.
100%,
that
bro.
well thought
I had
out.
a business mind, bro. I was born an entrepreneur, so I was like, I got to bank on this. I'm Nats the Pinoy rapper. Boom.
I do that too.
Foolish heart.
I
You know
have
what I
to
mean?
like Tagalog in my rap sometimes just to be like, yeah, I'm holding it down. But
Yeah, I did that shit too. And I was like,
nice.
back then, I was identifying with the American fellows that actually rap in Tagalog. So like, I was trying to fit in with those guys a lot more. This was just all over the internet. So that's how that name kind of came across a bit more. I was trying to appeal to too many things. And then it stuck, and now I kind of regret it because like half my shit is on YouTube as Nats the Pinoy rapper.
and
So it kinda stuck.
they're selling your CDs illegally in the Philippines.
In the
as
Philippines.
Are they really?
Yeah. If you guys heard that
I
story in
reckon
our
that's
last
actually
podcast,
happening.
Yeah, it
it
is.
fucking happened, dude.
Oh,
My cousin
really?
went and is like, "Hey, I got your song." I'm like, "What do you mean?" It's on the CD I got at the Tindahan, man. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Oh,
It's so
for
funny.
real?
That's crazy. That is
Bro.
so cool.
This was a long time ago. This was like LimeWire days, LimeWire,
Yeah,
Winamx,
yeah.
all the downloading.
That
It
is
wasn't
so
really
cool.
Was that a happy moment
what did
in
we
your
have
life,
back then?
or was that a
SoundCloud,
pissed off?
MySpace?
When people
was
are
that
pirating
like
your
a
shit,
pissed
you
off
made
moment
it.
in
I
your
thought I
life?
made it. I'm like, fuck, I made it, bro. I'm getting pirated. and shit. I made it.
That's it, bro.
That's really cool.
But yeah.
I think in this day and
Yeah,
age, you won't be
Australia.
able to pull off the marketing tool of Nats the Pinoy rapper. You probably have to change it to Nats the Pinoy vegan rapper / musician / entrepreneur
that too niche?
don't kill live
That's too
music
niche.
yeah, it's very niche and there's a lot of shit going down. So I think you have to step up your marketing game now.
It's all
man.
changed now.
But
That's
back
cool.
to the open source guys.
Yeah, let's bring it back to open source.
Let's bring it back
Yeah.
to the guys
bring it back.
who
What
are
do you
building
reckon-
this
What
community.
do you reckon about it, Esky? Because like Esky's like,
Yeah, I guess like there's been a couple of projects that I've also worked on that have like not like expanded the way that open source has.
yeah,
And I think it's more so a testament to the community and the space that we're in and the time that we're in, other than our drive. Like, our drive is strong. We're hard workers. But open source expanded only because people wanted that. People were looking for something where they can watch local acts, or they can just go down the street to watch a dope show. People were looking for that stuff. And I think that's like one of the main reasons why open source got to be as big as it did, or is still growing. But yeah, so that's what I'm really seeing in open source. And each event or each Instagram post that we put up, there's always a new guy saying, "Hey, I really love your stuff. How can I get involved?"
yeah. That to me is fucking crazy.
Yeah,
Word of mouth is
awesome,
strong.
yeah.
Yeah, that to me is crazy.
I think what we've done really well of like just, using the platforms of today, so Instagram, and just really running with it, and
Yeah.
it's been working.
Dope.
So
You know what's crazy? Like seeing brands that I've looked that that I've noticed like growing up, seeing them pay attention to what we're doing, and then that's like, to me, that's like a good sign that like knowing that like now other people are starting to look at us, and like the fact that people from like, we've only done 3 events, but within those 3 events, like the momentum was so fucking strong. Like people from like the city and like all around are like making like their way to come to.
Yeah, which is a good
I've-
sign. It's
yeah.
like back in the day, Western Sydney is going to the city.
Yeah.
Now the city's coming to us.
I know. How fucking crazy is that, man?
It's fucking
I like that a
Wakanda,
lot.
bro. We are
Yeah.
fucking Wakanda.
Yeah.
I swear, bro. Like, we had all this like vibranium shit, which is the talent.
Yeah, bro.
And then now we're just getting people to come to
Bro,
us.
that's it.
Bro,
That's
you
it.
know, that's it. We're fucking Wakanda.
That's
Bro.
right. And Michael B.
Yeah.
Jordan's trying to claim he's right, and we're just like, what are you doing
with,
here?
with
you
the
know?
bumps on his skin
Yeah,
and shit.
fucking.
Shit.
You can't see me right now, but I'm holding up a W sign and I'm doing the Wakanda.
I thought I was having a fit. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, should we stop the podcast?
Wakanda.
But like, so what's the plan in the future for open source? You should get a source.
A sauce.
Like
A
a
sauce.
sauce.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Because you got so much sauce.
That was the original.
Open source.
That was the original plan for open source.
Yeah, that was the original
Man, you
name.
should
Actually,
chase that
Open
dream
source.
of selling sauce, man.
Yeah, that was it. That was the original name, open source. But then I didn't like the sound of it.
Oh, was it really, actually?
Yeah, because what actually happened is we're in a meeting with Bodega.
Wait, what do you mean you don't like the sound of it? Okay, we're gonna change
Yeah.
it to open source.
Yeah. Oh no, it's like because. So we've always spoke about collaboration and whatnot, and then I was in a meeting with Bodega. We're talking about like a film clip, and then we're like, oh, we should call the movement like open source, and we just like ended up calling it open source, like open source bottle, but then nothing came from it. And like 2 months later or 3 months later, I was like, bro, you know, I'm just gonna fucking do something with that name.
Yeah, open source.
Yeah, and then I just started
Oh,
pushing.
so it actually started like that.
Yeah, it actually did start like
it did.
that.
It does
yeah.
have a good metaphor to it. It's like
Yeah.
an open source that people could just dip anything
Yeah.
into it and like you know
Yeah.
everyone
yeah.
to share.
That's true. That's
you
true.
know, so but
Yeah.
yeah, that's dope.
That's true.
But like
Yeah.
anything in the future for open source,
Whoa.
Very literally like fucking.
Matt Druitt's getting lit right
We're in
now.
the
It's
depths of
crazy,
Mount County.
man. I might stay here for a couple of hours just to avoid it.
But like the future, is that what was your question again? Sorry.
Yeah,
What's
what's
the future
coming
for
up? What's
open
coming
source?
up in the next like
Bro, like
few months,
I
6 months?
see. Oh, the next few months, we're probably gonna do like at least 2-3 more parties. We've got that party next week for Lauren's single launch. We're actually doing a festival this year.
Festival,
In
nice.
this month actually. I was meant to
Oh,
go
shit.
Philippines end of the month. In Philippines in Bacolod. So it's open source cross Head Rush cross Bodega. We're doing like a festival camp in Bacolod.
Nice.
It's called Camp Zion. So check that out, guys, if you guys are down. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it. I actually overcommitted myself for April. But the Bodega guys will be there. I know Raj and Lauren
Shout
and
outs.
Dan will be there. There's actually something happening with that, but I don't want to speak too soon in that regard. It's probably like,
Just say
like
it,
a
man.
project for next year.
Speak it into fruition.
Yeah,
That's what
but
we're all
sometimes I
about.
don't
We
want to
have
like.
a platform.
You don't want to jinx
For
it.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
to-
that's exactly it. Like sometimes if I feel like I divulge too much information, like it's, I don't know.
We have the Rizet now.
Yeah.
We have the
yeah, we have
result of the Wu-Tang Clan.
But yeah, the future. But I don't
we're
know.
working with Blacktown Council and Blacktown Arts.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
We're gonna run an event in Mount Druitt.
Shout outs.
Called Spoken.
To them, called
Spoken.
That's on the 5th of
So
5th
many
of
shout-outs.
April.
I love
Spoken.
it.
Oh no,
Sauce.
5th of September. Sorry.
It's in a while.
Yeah, so that's gonna be like a proper fucking like a hip hop show in Mount Druitt on the street.
Oh,
Just
spoken.
out here,
I thought,
we're gonna
I thought you
light
were
it
doing some
up.
spoken
Yeah.
word shit.
We're
Oh
gonna
my
light
God.
Nah, it was
sounds
originally meant to be
poetry slam.
spoken word, but
Dope.
like
There'll be spoken word.
oh, is it?
There will
Yeah.
be. There's an
Nice.
artist that's gonna jump on.
Oh, perfect.
Nice.
But yeah, they've just asked us to like curate the whole fucking event. So, and it's part of like a bigger movement like that Blacktown's organizing.
Yeah.
So,
Man, you
bro,
got a
the
lot.
fact
You got
that
a lot
fucking
going on, man.
council's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
looking at us, you
which is
know,
dope.
like
That's dope.
Yeah.
that to me is crazy.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, where can they find you guys?
All right, so our tag is at OPN.SRC.co. That's one, the website, the Facebook, the Instagram. It's more than likely going to be the YouTube and whatever fucking podcast channel we've got coming up in the next couple months.
Podcast channel. Keep
Yeah,
us
or you can
informed.
find my Instagram at Ricky Tana, RICKY.TANA. Where can they find you, Esky?
ESKY.E. I don't know.
SKE.
SKE.
You don't really see much open source stuff on my page, but you see it all.
Esky's got that swag right now. I was like, you know what it is. You know who I
Yeah,
am.
yeah,
You know where I'm
you
at.
know
my
I
name.
am.
You know my name.
You know my
I've been
name.
here. I've been here 3 times, man.
Yeah.
Esky the Pinoy MC.
Esky the Plumpton MC.
He's still there. He's gone.
Nah, the phone died.
My phone died. All right,
Bye,
cool. Sorry,
Nats.
Nats.
Catch you, Nats. He's probably still there waiting. What can I hear?
But like, you guys can check out the open source group.
Yes, Neil Diamond.
Check out their new stuff.
That's right.
But thanks for sharing your wisdom and everything in terms of what you guys are building. And I am really respectable about how you guys are trying to create a culture.
Respect to you guys.
No,
Respect to
thank
you
you,
guys.
man.
Shout outs to everyone involved in the open source crew. We're not forgetting about you. Just because these guys are here doesn't mean we don't respect you guys, because we respect the whole group.
100%.